Immediate assertions. In this session, you will learn more details about immediate assertions. As you have seen in the previous session, an immediate assertion is used to check a specific condition has occurred in the simulation and to flag error if it violates it. An immediate assertion is added to the code by using the assert keyword and followed by the statement or the expression of the assertion. So here is example: assert node write enable and read enable. So these statements tell that at any point in time, both write enable and read enable should not be high together when there is a positive edge of clock. So as you can see that it is added in a procedural always block. So in general, all immediate assertions are added in a procedural block like always. You cannot add it outside a procedural block. And also the immediate assertion will do a check immediately on the current simulation time. So whenever the always block is evaluated at the particular time, this check is evaluated. But remember that when you write an assertion in this RTL code, you will not add it in a separate always block, but you will add it in the same always block where you write all the functional codes and an assert statement as well. So this immediate assertions are similar to the if statements in Systemverilog. If you see that you could add an if statement to check whether this condition has occurred. So the equivalent checking part will be like always at positive of clock if write enable and read enable is high, flag an error. Now what's the difference between these two? That is by checking this condition violation by using the assert statement or by adding an explicit if statement. The difference is this is not a RTL code or a synthesizable code. You cannot add this kind of code into an RTL. You will not generally add it into the RTL design files. But you can always add an assert statements in the RTL file, even into the synthesizable RTL file. So, and if you are adding an assertion in the checker, remember that you will not use this assert statement in the checker. If this is a checker code, you will use an if statement and you will use a regular checking mechanism in Systemverilog. Immediate assertions will be useful in checking the X and Z conditions in the signal for checking unknown or floating values during known phases of the simulation. So you could add a check like a signal should not be X if after reset or something like that. As immediate assertions are similar to if statement, you could add the L statement along with the immediate assertion. So here is an example. So within a procedural always block, you are writing the same old assert statement like assert node of write enable and read enable followed by semicolon, and to the same statement you could add an else part like else begin end. You can flag an error. Although it is permitted, in normal scenarios, it is not recommended to write the else part of this immediate assertion because you don't need to explicitly add to flag an error, because if the assertion is failing, you can control to flag the error by using Systemverilog control knobs. But in some rare cases, you could be calling a function from here or do some other procedural actions from this else part, and just understand that adding an else part in immediate assertion is permissible because it is added in a procedural block. And also you could use any of the servity system task in Systemverilog, which is like $fatal, $error, $warning or $info. So if you use a $fatal, the simulation will be immediately killed. Also you will see an error message in the simulation log. If you use $error, the simulation will continue, but it will just add an error message. If you use $warning, you will see a warning message in the simulation log. And if you see a $info, you will just print a information message as stated in this statement. Again, remember that in most of the simple immediate assertion statements, you will not be adding the else part. This will be specifically required to cover certain scenarios in the test bench, which is not quite common in use. There are two categories of immediate assertions, which is simple immediate assertion and deferred immediate assertions. Quite commonly, the simple immediate assertions are known as simply immediate assertions, and the deferred immediate assertions are known by deferred assertions. What you have learned in the previous slide is just a simple immediate assertion just by using simple assert statement, and a deferred immediate assertion is added or specified by using a hash 0 or a hash final to a simple immediate assertion. So this is equivalent deferred immediate assertions statement for the first assert statement, and the syntax is similar except the hash 0 or hash final. And again, in the deferred immediate assertions, there are two subcategories, which is observed deferred immediate assertion when you specify hash 0, or the final deferred assertion when you specify a final along with the assert statement. The difference between a simple immediate assertion and a deferred immediate assertion is that the error flagging in deferred immediate assertions are delayed to certain amount of time or to certain region in the current simulation time. This is quite commonly added in order to avoid unwanted error flagging due to a glitch in the signal. A glitch is a small short circuit, a short pulse in the signal which is not lasting for a clock cycle, which will be just visible for a fraction of the current simulation time. And in certain scenarios, you don't want to flag an error because of a glitch. In that case, you can use deferred immediate assertions. We will not be covering more details about the deferred immediate assertions in this course. In most of the scenarios, we just need to use the simple immediate assertions, and just understand that the difference between simple immediate assertion and a deferred immediate assertion is these extra keywords. Now, what is a limitation of immediate assertions? As you have seen right here, a simple immediate assertion is useful when you just wanted to check a certain condition has occurred in the current simulation time. But if you wanted to model complex scenarios like which is spread over multiple clock cycles, you might want to model that behavior in the code by using extra piece of code in this extra piece of signals and variables in the always block, and you have to cover it, which is quite difficult to model it. They become too complex to cover complex scenarios. To model complex properties, we will always use concurrent assertion, which you will learn in the coming sessions.